What's up, buddy? How you doing? This is one of those videos where, God, it just breaks my heart, the state that we're in, right? When you're a kid, everything just seems to make sense, you know, especially when it comes to the realm of entertainment. I remember being a young child and watching Snow White, and I said, well, this is a fun story about a lady who meets some magic little people, gets poisoned by an evil witch, and saved by a prince. And at no point did I go, oh, how awful that she was a victim of the patriarchy, and what a terrible depiction of little people. Won't this hurt the lives of real life little people everywhere? No, I didn't think those things. Not only because I was a child, but because they really aren't there. It's a classic fantasy story. You're not supposed to think that hard about it. If you start connecting it to the real world, you end up with absolute insanity. But we live in a time of absolute insanity, and what they're doing to Snow White, I don't even know how to talk about this. We're gonna talk all about this insanity, but first, I gotta tell you about my new sponsor, Magic Spoon. Now guys, if you're like me, as a kid, you loved breakfast cereal, all those tasty little bits swimming around in milk. What could be a better treat? But when you grow up, you can't be eating that sugary crap anymore. You need an adult cereal, a mature cereal. That's why I turned to Magic Spoon. 0 grams total sugars, 4 grams net carbs, 13 grams protein, and you got all your favorite flavors. You got the frosted, here we got the peanut butter, the loose of fruit, and of course, how can you go wrong with the classic cocoa flavor? Give me some of that chocolate tasties. Oh, wow. Oh, that's good. Guys, Magic Spoon's gonna fit a variety of lifestyles, whether you're doing high protein, keto friendly, whatever kind of lifestyle you're aiming for, make Magic Spoon a part of it. That's why I want you to click the link below to get yourself a variety pack, and make sure to use promo code VitoYT at checkout. Get yourself $5 off any order, or go to magicspoon.com/VitoYT. And Magic Spoon is so confident that you're gonna love this product, it is backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason, you're gonna get your money back, no questions asked. So one more time, you can click the link below in the description, scan the QR code on your screen, or use it. Oh my God, it's so tasty. Use code VitoYT for $5 off. Magic Spoon, it's gonna up your breakfast game. You're gonna love this stuff. It's actually really good. I'm gonna finish this bowl now. Oh wait, I can't finish this. We gotta make a video. Okay, let's get back into the video, and my cereal will get soggy. What are you gonna do? Now, when we first heard that Snow White was gonna be played by Rachel Zegler, obviously a lot of us went, well, now I'm confused. I'm confused. Okay, this is a half Colombian actress, Snow White, who is probably the whitest character in the it's in her name. Her skin is as white as snow. I mean, is it not obvious that you pick a very pale-skinned actress? I mean, look, you can read into the casting all you want. I have my theories, but we live in an age of diversity and inclusion, and we now have a Colombian Snow White. Okay. But the question I think that was most on my mind was, what are they gonna do about the dwarves? For those of you who don't know, I actually got banned from Twitter a year ago for asking basically this question. People were saying, what are we gonna do about these dwarf actors in Snow White? And I said, guys, Disney is not gonna let themselves get accused of being insensitive to the dwarf community, to the little person community. And I said to Lofty Pixels, if they use real actors, they will use normal-sized people and shrink them in post. There is no way Disney will be caught dead with a real-life, mentally challenged, would have been the better way to say it, mentally challenged midget in their movie, of course, referring to Dopey. My theory was, I don't think you can make a Snow White movie and get someone to actually play Dopey, who, if we really break it down, is a mentally handicapped midget. You're gonna get, look, it's just the way it is. You're gonna get in trouble if you do it. Disney doesn't want to deal with it. But my theory was that they would take actors and shrink them down, shoot them on a green screen or something, That doesn't appear to be what's happening, and what appears to be happening is a million times worse. Oh, dear God. Oh, God. What is this? What is this? Now, the Daily Mail first broke these pictures, reporting it as Snow White and the 7 politically correct companions. The character of the fictional princess Snow White, played by Rachel Zegler, is pictured for the first time with their new companions, which appear to be a mix of genders, ethnicities, and heights. Guys, why? Here's what I'm gonna say is, I understand that there's problems involved with making a live action Snow White. We've talked about what the problems are. Okay, it depicts, I mean, first of all, they're supposed to be like mythical creatures. They're not real people, but obviously people are going to compare them to that, and they're going to say, no, they're actual, little people, and one of them's mentally handicapped, and they're the butt of the joke. Okay, we know all that. So you got 2 options, I think. I'll give you 3 options. One option is CGI dwarves. Make it clear that they're magical creatures. Make them look like no human has ever looked. And then they're just magical. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't gotta call them dwarves if that's a problem now. But dwarves is a fantasy term. We use it in Lord of the Rings. You can use dwarves. Make them fantasy dwarves, make them CGI. I think that's one option. Option 2, just go for it. Okay, just make a 100% accurate Snow White. And there's going to be people who are complaining, going, oh, is this, insensitive to little people, and does this represent marginalized communities? I would make the argument that if you just went for it and said, we're just going to make it accurate to the original, and we're not, this does not reflect any real world groups, these are fictional characters, I actually think we're at the point in the discourse where you could have got away with it. You could have just had a full-on 100% Snow White, and anybody who told you, oh my God, this is insensitive or evil or whatever else, if you just tune them out and you just shut them out and you put it out, I think you could have had a hit. Here's the third option. Don't make it. Don't make it at all. Don't. If this is your compromise, if this is how you have to make it, here they come. Here they come. What a merry bunch they are. Come on. This doesn't even look magical. It just looks stupid. Apparently, this was like a test shoot. Some of these actors are not the actual actors who are going to be playing these doofuses, but it just... Why do you even have one little guy? Why do you even have one? What is this? This is not Snow White. This is something else. And whatever this is terrible. It's terrible. This is so stupid. Just don't make it. Don't make it. The second these guys showed up, and we got to have 2 black ones. We got to have one who looks kind of, I don't know, Hispanic. We got a white one. We got a dwarf. Got another white one. Okay, they got what? Couple white ones, couple black ones. We got our diversity mix. You know what was great about the dwarves? There was all the diversity of the dwarves was whether they were sleepy or grumpy or dopey. Like, that was it. They were all pretty much the same race, same height, and you could differentiate them based on their traits. Now you got a black one, a black lady one, an Irish one, a Scot. This is ridiculous. At least everybody looks like they're having fun. What is the point of making a Snow White story if it doesn't look anything? Look at this. It looks nothing like this. And this is sad because for those of you who know your history of animation, Snow White was kind of the first big theatrical hit for Disney. This is a famous movie in the history of filmmaking. I don't know if it was the first full-length animation. I don't want to get my history wrong, but it did win multiple Academy Awards because it blew people away. This simple, enchanting fantasy story now looks like this. Looks like Mumford and Sons on their way to beat on a drum and sing me a tune about, I don't know, joining the tribal children of Foreverland. This is nonsense. What's crazy is Disney tried to get away with it. They said, no, those pictures are fake. And then later they had to go, someone else at Disney was like, no, they're real. I'm sorry. We meant to say they're not official pictures. They're not official set pictures. Well, God, I would hope not. This is embarrassing. This looks so stupid. Now, everybody all over the internet knows this is the dumbest looking thing in the world. And honestly, I wish they had just had the balls to go through and just cast 7 little people, give them all personalities and big costumes, and let them have fun. Maybe you can change Dopey. Dopey's the one that's a little harder to deal with, and I understand that. But you could have the other 6, and for Dopey, make him really smart this time. Anyway, it's offending actual little people actors, including Wee Man of Jackass fame, who was asked what he thinks of this casting.
Photos just came out showing that the Snow White movie replaced the 7 dwarves with 7 average people instead. Do you think Disney made the right choice doing this?
Oh, wow. I didn't think this was going to be the question today. It's funny you should ask this because a buddy of mine were talking about this the other day. And it's perfect timing for this because of all the AI and all that like SAG and the Writers Guild are going through. It's a bad thing. I'm not agreeing with it. One, because what they're doing is pretty much you're replacing jobs that people could have as little people. Okay. Snow White.
Yeah, I mean, this really is sad. Let's be real. You know, being a little person clearly is a tough thing. It's a tough thing to deal with. And one of the benefits or small benefits out there is that there traditionally were a lot of Hollywood roles for little people, you know, just because of their height and their stature. They either fit certain characters or could even be used famously. What was his name? The guy who was R2D2, Kenny something. Okay, they could fit into certain parts of the production. They could work puppets. They could work robotics. So it's like 2 steps forward, 10 steps back, where we go, well, isn't this great that we have a more nuanced depiction of Snow White that doesn't offend any little people? It's like, I think they would rather have jobs at the end of the day. We also saw this with the Willy Wonka movie, where, again, they're not going to use an actual little person actor. They're using Hugh Grant, and they're going to CG him into being an Oompa Loompa. And it's taking opportunities away from people, which I would think giving opportunities to real people is more important than making sure you don't offend some pink-haired weirdo who might watch the movie.
In the 7 dwarfs, it's 4 dwarfs, you know? And what we were discussing, too, the other day was the Wonka movie. And Hugh Grant is now playing an Oompa Loompa. So I guess, Hugh Grant, you're now identifying as a little person.
Kind of turning it around on him. Yeah, shouldn't Hugh Grant face backlash? What happened to this whole idea that, like, if you're going to have a black character, it can only be played by a black person? If it's a gay character, it can only be played by a gay person, whether in voice acting or real life live action. How can a tall person accurately portray a dwarf character? Is that not a little offensive? I don't know. Last piece of business I'm going to give you. Some people, again, have dug up some interviews with the cast, with the crew, and it really kind of tells you what this whole project's about. Let's take a look here.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Oh my God, then who cares that it's not Snow White? Just go make a different movie. That's what I don't... Here's the thing. Back in the day, if you wanted to subvert tropes, if you wanted to say, oh, you know, I'm tired of damsels in distress, I'm tired of the princess being saved, you just went and made your own thing. A classic example is Star Wars, where Princess Leia, instead of being the helpless princess, oh, my prince, please come and save me, the second they rescue her from jail, she's got a blaster rifle and she's shooting her mouth off. Like, subvert the tropes with a new franchise, with a new story. But when you go and take the classic story that everybody loves and a story that has endured for 80 years now, and you go, well, it ain't 1937 anymore, it's about to get all modern up in here, then I don't know exactly what to say. All I know is that this endless remake culture does not pay respect to the original story. And if you want to subvert the story, and I think you can subvert the story, not like this is new. Okay, let's be clear. There already are Disney movies about subverting the idea of being a princess and you need a prince to save you. What was the one, Brave, where the red-haired girl is supposed to be betrothed to the weird Viking kids and then proves that she doesn't need the... Okay, we've done this a million times. It's not interesting at this point. But at least then you tried it with a new franchise instead of just going back to the well and going, let's take Snow White, but make it everything Snow White isn't. No prince, no true love. It's a love story. I don't want to see Snow White become the brave leader she was meant to be. What a waste of my... Well, guys, why don't you let me know in the comments? Are you excited for Snow White? I'm not. Looks stupid. Sounds stupid. This is a mess. This is a mess. And even if, and it's possible there's a good story here, but the story is not Snow White. That's the point. If you want to make, just go make... you know, brown lady and the 7 non-binary super friends. Have the balls to make that instead of having to tie it into this IP because you know you can get people in the seats if you tie it to a franchise. That's the only reason they're doing this. It has nothing to do with the original. It's only because they know they can get you in the seats because it's a franchise. I hope this movie bombs. It's a disaster. Guys, don't forget my sponsor, Magic Spoon. Head to magicspoon.com/VitoYT. Get yourself some delicious cereal. We got more cool videos coming soon. Subscribe to the channel. Take care of yourself. And I'm so tired of Disney. I'm so tired of this company. Like, come on, just fire all these people. They can't write. This shit sucks.